Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on hip mobility with just a short flow to build some heat and strength in the hips, and then just a few softening and relaxing poses afterwards. So go ahead and grab a mat, some water. You're going to need a bolster or some pillows and maybe some blocks if you'd like, probably 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, no big deal, but they will help. So I'll see you on your mat in just a moment. Alright my friends, welcome to our hip mobility flow today. We're going to be starting at an easy seat on our mat, just with our legs crossed. You can have a bolster under your hips if you'd like. We're just going to take a moment, take a few breaths, close the eyes, and just find your way to your mat. Maybe rolling the shoulders if you'd like. Just taking a few more moments here. To relax and prepare yourself for your practice today. Good. Start to flutter your eyes open and come to your mat with me. So if you'd like, I have pretty tight hips, so I'm gonna grab my bolster and I'm gonna sit on my bolster. This might make this next little warm-up a lot easier for you. So you're gonna bring your feet out in front of you. And we are just going to play around with some side-to-side kind of windshield wiper movements. So you can start to just kind of play and roll side to side. Putting your hands up might make it a little bit more fun. You can put your hands up like this. You can practice just one leg at a time. This might feel really uncomfortable for you. You can also put your hands on your knees. We're not super warmed up, so might have not a ton of range of motion here. We're just kind of seeing where the hip joints are at and kind of feeling any areas of tension, maybe moving the upper body. Just getting kind of weird here. We like weird. And opening, closing the hips. Good. Maybe you want to try to roll all the way over using your hands if you'd like to support. Hands can go behind you as well. That might help. Good. Just go ahead and take a few more movements with me. And then find your way back to an easy seat, legs crossed. Just take a minute to see how that feels in the body. Maybe close the eyes and do a quick body scan. Good. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and flutter them open. Roll onto the shins and find a tabletop position. So you might have to move your bolster out of the way. Good. So our wrists are stacked under the shoulders here. Knees are under hips. And we're just gonna play with some movement of the legs here in this tabletop position. So we're going to start by shooting our right leg back and just kind of curling the toes under and maybe tipping front to back. Just getting a little stretch in the Achilles. Good. And now we're going to focus on our core here. So you're going to bring the belly button to spine and kind of push the spine up towards the sky. So pushing the hands into the mat, spine floats up, and you've got this nice little barrel that's going to keep you stable while we continue these exercises. So try and focus on this form throughout the next few minutes. Cool. So now that we have our core nice and stabilized, we're going to float our right leg up And just balance here for a minute. Maybe you want to do some pulses, kind of warm up the glutes, squeezing both glutes. And now we're going to find some side-to-side movements with the legs. So you're going to start by bringing the right leg all the way over to the outside of the left mat, like this. And maybe leaning back, feeling a stretch in this outer left hip. Feels good. And then I'm going to scoot over because I'm going to hit my side table. But you're going to bring the leg all the way out to the side and up to the front to find a low lunge and just kind of lean into it. So we're making a big half circle here. We're just going to keep moving back and forth with that movement. So kind of pushing the hands into the mat, plugging the leg up all the way back and around. If you're kind of having a hard time moving your legs, you might want to put 2 blocks under the hands. Sometimes that helps. Keeping the core tight, plugging the leg up to low lunge, or a lizard. A lizard might feel good too. Good, pushing the hands into the mat, engaging the core, bring that foot all the way around, and kind of leaning into that side hip. So keep going, kind of moving with your breath, and kind of speeding it up here. Kicking stuff is totally fine. Good. Go ahead and stop next time you reach the back of your mat, that little side bend, and then find your way back to just a tabletop position. Good. Now you're probably feeling that heat, that building in the hip joint, maybe some opening. Feels so good. We'll move to the other side. So left leg goes back, kind of curling the toes under and just rocking front to back to give that calf, that Achilles, a little stretch. Good. And then we're going to find our canister again. So our nice strong core position, pushing the hands into the mat, spine goes up to the sky, belly button to the spine. Good. You might look like kind of a cat back. And when you're ready, engage the glutes, float that left leg up, and find your pulses. Good. Really just squeezing from the glute, trying to only squeeze that glute, no other muscles here. Your core should be engaged, but not squeezing. Good. And now next time, we're just going to bring that foot over the right foot all the way to the outside of the mat and find that little side bend here. Stretching the outside of the hips here, maybe a little bit of the side body. Feels so good. And then on your next inhale, you're going to bring the foot up all the way out to the front of the mat for a lizard lunge. Again, you can kind of bring your foot in. You can have blocks here. That feels good. Listen to your body here. Blocks are great. I love them, especially for hips. You get really deep into that hip joint with a block. You can kind of frame the foot like this with 2 blocks. Perfect. All right. So pushing the hands into the mat, engaging the core, shooting the spine up to the sky. Kind of peel that leg back all the way around and sit back. Good. And then shooting that leg all the way out towards the front, leaning front to back. Little lizard lunge. Pushing the hands into the mat, engaging the core, sweeping that leg all the way back and around. Good. Now go ahead and move a little bit faster. Moving with the breath. Good. Shooting the leg back, leaning into that side bend, tick-tocking the leg forward. Just kind of moving at your own pace. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. Good. Feeling kind of warm now, right? Really helps to exhale when you're shooting that leg forward. All right, go ahead and end on that back little side bend. And then find your way to a tabletop position. Good. So we're kind of feeling the heat, feeling that mobility through the hips. So we're going to keep moving into that. So you're going to just do some puppy pose with extended legs. Sorry, puppy leg with extended toes. So inhaling the right knee out to the side like a puppy peeing on a hydrant. And then you can either stay here and pulse, or you can extend the leg and pulse. Focusing on your core here, keeping that foot bent and engaged. And then you can drop it down. So we'll just keep doing that. Inhaling, you can do like 4 or 5, and dropping the hip. Inhaling, extending the leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop that hip. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe extend the leg, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just building that strength and that movement in the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend the leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, and bring it back. Find a little Buddha bow here. So hands go in front, kind of lean back onto the legs. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Good. Now crawl yourself back up. And we're going to do it on the other side. So hands stacked under shoulders. You're just going to bring your leg up to the side for a little peeing puppy. And just find those pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe extend the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop. Feeling it on both hips now, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop. One last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Knees together. Little Buddha bow. Hands above the head. Deep breath in. And exhale. Relax into the mat. Good. Come back to your tabletop position. If you find that your knees are kind of getting sensitive, you may want to lay a blanket down, or you can kind of fold your mat over, whatever you prefer. That's why I like these nice thick mats for this kind of work. Good. So we're going to go ahead and inhale our right leg up to the sky. Just kind of find our bird dog and bring that foot through to meet the hands, a low lunge. Good. And just kind of lift up. Now, you might want 2 blocks to frame the front foot if you'd like, but you don't have to. Hips are squared, so right hip back, left hip forward. There we go. And feet are about hip width distance. Now we're going to lean in and just build some heat here. I'm going to grab my block because this feels really good with a block. Just kind of leaning into the hips. And then placing your left hand down on the inside of that right foot and twisting over to the right. Right arm goes up. You can maybe lean into it if you'd like. Kind of bring the right hand behind you. If that feels good in the low back, squeezing the glutes to protect the low back. Good. And now we're going to push ourselves up and back into a half splits. So all the way back, hands go forward. And you're sitting onto your back leg. Front leg is extended. Front foot is pointed towards the sky. So that's going to be our next kind of little grouping of dynamic movements. So you're going to push yourself up, lean into that low lunge. Left hand goes down, twist over to the right. Kind of lean into it, bring the right hand behind you. And then explode forward, lengthen through the right leg, half splits. So kind of push yourself up. Left hand goes down, twist. Lean into it, right hand goes back. Push into the mat and extend through the front leg, half splits. Good, keep moving. So low lunge. Twist to the right. Lean into it, right hand goes back. Push into the mat, half splits. One last time, push yourself up, low lunge. Lean into it, twist. Right hand goes behind you. And push yourself back, half splits. Good, so go ahead and push yourself up. Hands come down to the mat, move your block. And right foot meets the left, or right knee meets the left. Find your tabletop. Good, now we'll just go ahead and do it on the other side. So left leg goes up. Left foot comes through to meet the hands, low lunge. Bring your block in here. Maybe place it on the inside of the left foot. Rise up. Hips are squared. So left foot, left hip back, right hip forward. Just kind of lean front to back here. Good. Focusing on keeping the knee comfortable here. So if your knee is kind of like twinging, you can either move your foot forward or back and kind of see how that feels. Nice and engaged glutes while we go through this little sequence, and an engaged core, so belly button to spine. Good, start to lean into that lunge. Bring the right hand down, twist open to the left, and really lean into it. Left hand goes back. Push into the mat and extend through the front leg, half splits. Good. Both feet and knee push into the mat, a little lunge. Maybe bring your hands up. That feels good to play with your hands, right? Right hand to the mat, twist open to the left. Left hand goes behind you, really open up through the hip. And exhale, push into the mat, half splits. Good. Push yourself up. Lean into that twist, that low lunge, and then you can twist. Open up even further. Left arm goes back. Push into your mat, half splits, lengthening through the front leg. The long leg toes are pointed up. Nice and active long leg here. Push into your mat. Right hand goes down, twist. Left hand goes back. Push into the mat, half splits. All right, one last time, push yourself up. Lean into that low lunge. Right hand down, twist to the left. Left hand back. And you know where we're going. Push into the mat, half splits. Good, good, good. All right, so you're going to go ahead and lean forward, find that low lunge, move the block off to the side, and left knee goes back. Find just a quick child's pose. Taking a few deep breaths here. All right, and then crawl yourself up. Find that tabletop. And then we're just gonna kick ourselves up. Sorry, not kick ourselves up. Curl the toes back, toes under. Lift the hips up to the sky. Find a downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet out here. This is our first one of the practice. Really pushing the hands into the mat, opening through the chest. Good. Inhale the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. And exhale, bring the foot through to meet the hands, low lunge. With our back knee raised this time, we're going to push both feet into the mat, rise up, find a high lunge, arms go up. Good. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, bring hands to heart center. Now we're going to prepare for warrior three. So you're going to bend into that front leg, kind of tip yourself up, and then float that back leg up to the sky, toes pointed down. Hips are square to the mat, so maybe drop that left hip a little bit. Good. Good. Kind of squeeze the glutes to raise that leg, back leg up. Perfect. Now we're going to drive the knee through to the front. So standing up, still balancing, That knee comes through to the front. Grab it with your left hand. So left knee should be forward. And now while we're balancing, we're just gonna kind of sweep that knee side to side. Kind of like you're painting with your foot. You can use the wall to balance you if you'd like. Just kind of a weird in and out movement. Kind of leading with the foot and letting the knee follow. Good. This is a nice balance challenge. You can use a wall to help you if you'd like. Good. Now we're going to inhale, rise up, lift that knee up, 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 and then drive it back and find your high lunge. Arms go up. And exhale, float the hands to the mat. Right foot meets the left. We're gonna find a quick vinyasa. So an exhale, chaturanga, elbows close to the body, use your knees if you like. Inhaling, opening through the front body, cobra. And exhale, find your downward facing dog. Good. Now moving over to the other side, inhale, left leg up to the sky. And exhale, bring that foot through to meet the hands, low lunge. Just pausing for a moment to find our balance, pushing both feet into the mat or rise up. High lunge, arms go up. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Preparing for warrior three. So starting to bend into that left knee, walking that back foot forward, and then tipping the body forward as the back leg shoots up nice and straight. Back toes are pointed down. Try dropping that right hip. That's where the challenge comes. Squeezing the glutes. Good. And now we're gonna drive that knee forward. So kind of maintaining your balance. Shooting that knee forward. Right hand grabs the right knee. And you can bring this left hand to the hips or to a wall, whatever is comfortable for you. We're gonna find our little paintbrush leg. So just starting to move side to side, letting the foot lead and the knee follow. It's a nice balance challenge. I was holding the wall last time. So it's a little bit harder when you're just trying to balance. Just kind of finding that internal and external rotation, moving that hip. Good. Go ahead and do it just a few more times. Whoop. Good. Take a deep inhale, rise that knee up, and exhale, shoot it back. Find your high lunge. Arms go up. Deep breath in. And exhale, cartwheel hands down to the mat. Left foot meets right. Find your flow, plank pose. Exhaling, dropping our chaturanga, elbows close to the body. Inhaling, opening through the front body, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Pedaling the feet out here. Now we're going to move to a pigeon pose. So inhale the right leg up to the sky. And exhale, bring that knee into the hands. So knee comes to the mat. Then you can drop the thigh, then the hip. You can also place a block under the hip for a little extra support. Sometimes that feels really good. I'm going to be here for a moment. You can bring your bolster in front of you for a little padding. Find your pigeon pose. Excuse me. Find your pigeon pose. And just kind of start to relax into your pigeon. So whatever that looks like for you, you can be sitting up. That feels really good. Or you can melt and sleep your pigeon like I'm doing. Finding your breath, closing the eyes, and just enjoying this moment of opening after we spent all that time warming the hips and moving them. Breathing nice and deep here, slowing the breath if it's still fast. Good. If you're sleeping your pigeon, place the hands on the mat and lift yourself up, open through the chest. Gonna rise out of this pigeon. So curling the back toes under, pushing the hands into the mat, lifting the core up, shoot that right leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Shake it out a bit, and then drop the right leg to meet the left, downward facing dog. Good. So we're gonna move over to the other side. Inhaling, left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. And exhale, bring it through to meet the hands, low lunge, pigeon pose. So bring the knee through to meet the hands. And then dropping the thigh and the hip, using a block if you'd like. Good. Making sure your hips are relatively square to the front of the mat, whatever's comfortable for you. And you can stay nice and tall in your pigeon. That sometimes feels so good. But if you'd like, you can sleep your pigeon, coming all the way down over the knee, using a bolster or block, or just falling to the mat. Whatever feels good for you today. Letting your eyes close, finding your breath here. Good. Start to push yourself up from your pigeon. If you're sleeping in your pigeon, using your hands to push yourself up. Maybe moving the block off and out to the side. Both hands push into the mat. Curl the back toes under. Lift yourself up with your core and shoot that left leg back up to the sky, three-legged dog. Kind of shake it out for a second and bring it down to a downward facing dog. Good. Now you're just going to drop to your knees and grab your bolster if you're not already using it. Good. So we're going to come to a supported frog pose. So the bolster is going to be in front of you. And we're basically just going to lean our whole body onto the bolster as we bring one of our legs out to frog. So I'm going to do it on the left side first so you can see. Move this out of the way. Good, so your whole body lays on top of the bolster. You may want your head to kind of be supported as well. And then you just shoot your left leg out. Nice supported frog. Now you want to make sure the bolster is supporting your pelvis. So if your pelvis is hanging off, kind of scoot yourself up onto your bolster. You can also put a block right here if your head is hanging off the bolster. I'm short, so mine isn't. But if yours is, there you go. Nice little frog pose. Now the knee is bent here. The foot is flexed, kind of as if you're a frog swimming. Back leg is nice and relaxed. So we'll just stay here for a couple breaths. maybe closing the eyes. You can bring the arms kind of curled under if you like. Just right here feels good too. Just take a moment here to relax into your mat. Nice, gentle, supported hip opener. Good, now you can switch to the other side. So we're gonna do that by just pushing ourselves up and coming back just to our thunderbolt position, sitting on our feet. Just taking a moment to kind of let the hips neutralize and come back to center. Good. Now we'll go ahead and move to the other side. So letting the body kind of fall over the bolster, making sure the pelvis is supported by the bolster, and then shooting the other leg up into the little frog leg pose. And then just closing your eyes, letting your back leg relax. And just taking a moment here to melt into your mat. Still breathing here, just relaxing into that mat, enjoying this gentle opening of the hip. Good. Now go ahead and start to take yourself out of this supported frog pose. You're going to push your hands into the mat. Just kind of sit back into our thunderbolt position once more. Now, we're going to complete this practice with a belly down Shavasana. So you're going to want to move your props out of the way. Good. And now just crawl yourself to your belly. One cheek on the mat. Tops of the hands curl under and touch the mat. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, especially in the neck, you can bring both hands up and kind of pad the forehead as you bring the forehead to the mat. This feels great too. Or maybe try moving the neck the other way. If overall it does not feel good in your body, you can flip over and do traditional Shavasana. But we'll go ahead and find our Shavasana. Whatever looks best for your body today. And start to bring your awareness to your breath. If you're in belly down with me, feeling the belly push against the mat and then contract with each breath. Take a moment here to just observe how your breath is moving against the mat. Now we'll do a quick body scan to really relax the body as we finish up our Shavasana. It's kind of bringing your awareness to the feet, relaxing the feet into the mat. And then the calves, relaxing the calves. And the kneecaps, relaxing the kneecaps. And the thighs, releasing any tension in the thighs, letting them be heavy into the mat. And the pelvis, relaxing the pelvis and the pelvic floor. And the glutes or the butt muscles, releasing those, any tension you're feeling there. And the belly is nice and soft. The heart space is open and relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed. The right arm releases into the mat. The left arm releases into the mat. The throat space opens and relaxes. The cheeks and the jaw relax. The lips are relaxed. The eyelids softly cover the eyes. The eyebrows release. The forehead is calm and relaxed. Finally, the head feels nice and heavy as the entire body relaxes into the mat. start to kind of wake the body up. Maybe move the feet side to side. Bring the hands off to one side as you roll onto one side of the body. Bringing the hands next to you, the knees are bent. Just pausing for a moment. Noticing how you might be feeling. Maybe finding some gratitude for your practice, for the opportunity to practice today. And when you're ready, using both hands to push yourself up off the mat and to find an easy seat with me. Legs crossed, nice neutral spine. Bringing hands to heart center and bowing the head. Thank you so much for taking time today to explore some hip movement and some mobility. And I will see you guys next time. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this class. Donations are accepted through Venmo and PayPal to continue to produce content for you guys. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.